Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm here in California at the Porsche Experience Center for a very, very special reason. Not only are we going to be experiencing all of the different steps that people go through when coming to this location, but of course, we get to feature some of those amazing products from Germany, and this is one of them right here. This is a 2021 Porsche 911. This one obviously is a Carrera S convertible cabriolet. But before we get into this iconic German sports car, let's talk about what's going on here. The 911, 911, that is what you dialed when you wanted race car success around tracks all over the world, especially the coveted 24 Hours of Le Mans. When you look at that iconic endurance race, no other brand has won it more than Porsche. Now, the 911 has been around since 1963, and one of my favorite things about the car, it's been more about an evolution rather than a revolution. I don't care if you are on the moon and you have an eye patch and you're using an old telescope. Looking at this vehicle from that distance, you know that it's a 911 based off the wonderful shape. Now, in theory, this rear engine sports car should not work as great as it does, because remember, we say rear engine because the engine is past the rear axle. This is not a mid-engine car, but really has shown great success in so many different forms. So what I want to do is I want to dive into this 2021 Porsche 911 Carrera S. We're going to be going on throttle, but what I want to find out is it the best, most iconic sports car of all time? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the color. Silver, if you look during the especially 1950s and 60s, silver was a color of German race teams. All the different teams from the different countries had specific colors. So when we start at the front of the business, you're gonna get that very, very unique design that has evolved over time. Up front, you can see the wonderful upgraded headlights we have, LED projector beam, LED daytime running lamp. Love the shape. Of course, we went away from the traditional round, but we definitely have that nice oval design with the Porsche name inside there. So much history behind this German brand. Working your way down, you have more exterior lighting. And then what I like to see is some functionality. These massive corner vents are fully functional, nice flat black. I'm glad they didn't go with any kind of gloss. I think it would be a little too gaudy, but definitely flowing that air for the heat exchangers. Remember, originally the 911 was air-cooled, and it was a big, big change when they switched to water-cooled. There was some hardcore enthusiasts that were kind of against it, but now they've all jumped on board because the water-cooled flat six that's in this engine, that's in this car, especially the twin turbo setup, is producing tons and tons of power, usable power. Now, as we come across the front end, love the way everything has a nice familiar shape to it, yet it looks new. This chassis is what's called the 992 chassis. This is that evolution over time and really just heightening the performance level of this car. You'll notice that you have a forward-facing camera up front. Nice to see that. And that's another thing. When you buy a 911 or really any Porsche, you really can personalize it with a ton of options, from technology to certain aesthetics that really are going to separate it not only from other cars, but also other 911s. Of course, that iconic logo on that front mounted trunk area with the German colors, so much history. And yes, there is a connection between the prancing horse on Ferrari and that horse on this Porsche 911. But really nice, wide, low, familiar lines. When we get up onto that front mounted trunk, you see those body lines kind of go cleanly towards the windshield. And I think that's one of the things, as we feature more and more vehicles on Raiti's Rides, is that not only is German styling very clean, but especially on this 911, super smooth, really done right. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So you're gonna get these beautiful metallic gunmetal wheels with the machined aluminum, that split spoke design. This is a 20-inch wheel up front, 245 on the width, slim and trim 35 series sidewall with those Pirelli P0 tires. You have the massive 6-piston Brembo calipers that are going to clamp down on those rotors that are fully ventilated, cross-drilled, and they're two-piece to give you maximum braking. Now, if you want more braking out of your 911 convertible, what you could do is you could actually go carbon ceramic brakes. Yes, that technology that's been taken from Formula One has been brought to street-going Porsches all through the whole lineup to really give you that ultimate in braking capability, but really think that the style, super clean, especially with the silver. Working our way down the fender area, no fake vents, nothing stuck on. You're gonna get, of course, color matched on the mirror caps with the flat black, which is very cohesive with what's going on at the front of the business. We got the 360-degree cameras, and probably one of my favorite things about this 911 is just that sexy Coke bottle shaped design. As you come towards the rear, it sort of widens out, and that really gives it that really great style that, like I said, over time, when people see this car, you're not gonna confuse it with anything else. Now, we have the top down. We're gonna be diving in to the interior bits in a few seconds, but coming towards the rear, what you'll notice, that same great braking technology, nice large calipers, nice large rotor. Remember, the whole point about having this setup like this with the cross-drilled, with the ventilation, is to help reduce heat. And what's really wonderful is that you have a staggered setup. We have 20-inch wheels up front, 20-inch wheels up front, 21-inch wheels in the back, and you get a nice 305 on the width, because this is rear-wheel drive, this particular model here, so we want to get the power to the ground, and with that extra width, you got more rubber to meet the road. Coming around the back, I think they did it spot on the money with the way that they cover that beautiful folding cloth top. Gonna have that unique body style specific to the 911, and then the lighting. That's another thing that, yes, they develop power and performance on the racetrack. They also develop this lighting technology on the racetrack as well. Racetracks like the Le Mans with the 24-hour race, 12 hours of Sebring, 24 hours Daytona. But you can see that great LED going all the way across, nice bright red, the Porsche name, so much history there. 911 Carrera S. Now, when you go S, you are going to be getting a little bit more performance, and we're going to talk about that. And this is just the beginning. You could really take this up another notch, and you could even go all-wheel drive with a Carrera 4S. But working your way down, love the way it's got the nice polished aluminum trim rings here on your exhaust with the flat black. And of course, you'll be able to get that sound that you want from that flat six. Another thing that's you got to remember is on your 911 Carrera with the 992 chassis, they are turbocharged. Now, this is not a Porsche 911 Turbo. They don't call it a 911 Turbo. There still is a 911 Turbo, more power, bigger turbos. But yes, this flat six does have a twin turbo setup. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop this engine hatch cover and talk about performance with this Carrera. All right, guys, we have the rear engine hatch open. Now, when I say the rear engine hatch is open, with 911s being obviously water cooled now, a lot of technology used to keep those engines at the right temperature, there's not much to see, but we're gonna do our best here on this 911 Carrera S. Just a little fun point for you, on the new 992 GT3, you can't even open a rear hatch area for anything to be seen for the engine. So just something to be aware of, but thankfully, Frank was able to open this up a little bit higher so that Lori could work her camera magic. But on this Carrera S, what are we talking about? So coming underneath, you're gonna notice some badging, you're gonna notice those cooling fans up top. You're looking at a 3-liter twin turbo flat six. But like I said, this is not a 911 Turbo. That is another model that is higher performance with larger turbos. But what are we talking about on this Carrera S? You're looking at 443 horsepower, 390 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed PDK. That is new for the 992, is an 8-speed PDK, one of the fastest shifting transmissions in the world. The good news is, if you're all about saving the manuals, you can get a no-cost option 7-speed manual transmission. With the PDK though, you're gonna get the best performance, and what you're looking at is 0 to 60 right around 3 seconds flat. Quarter mile goes by at 11.3 seconds at 125 miles an hour. Top speed around 191 miles an hour. The vehicle in coupe form weighs around 3,395 pounds. MPGs, 20 in the city, 26 on the highway. And this is what has always made this vehicle such a popular fan favorite, is that you have the ability, if you want a standard coupe, like we will be driving those Carrera S coupes on the Experience Center track layout, you can go that route. You could also go Targa with your 911, or you could go convertible. Well, why don't we go ahead talk is cheap. Let's fire up this one with that Sport Tune exhaust so we can hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2021 Porsche 911 Carrera S, sitting on that 992 chassis. So much history. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been wanting a 911 ever since I was a kid. I had a 911 turbo on my wall on a poster. I played with the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox cars. How much is this one? Well, MSRP for a standard 911, non-Carrera S, in a coupe form, you're basically looking at $114,000. Obviously, depending on how you option it, going convertible, going 4 or 4S, that's gonna change. And then of course, the different options when it comes to interior choices, technology, that sport exhaust, and everything else in between. But why don't we go ahead, let's see what Porsche's bringing to the table, to the door panels. Absolutely love how this one is styled. You're gonna get that wonderful red contrast stitching up top with the black. It pops really nicely, nothing too gaudy, nothing too heavy. The way they take the silver trim right into the door handle. Of course, you got your lock and unlock switchgear up top that is gloss black, but the rest of it is this beautiful, nice cherry red color. I think with the silver, this is one of my favorite color choices ever. You have the optional Bose sound system, and then of course, going from the door panel, and you could put some Twinkies right by your Bose speaker system and really get them to vibrate. But going from the door panel to the dash, classic 911 with new technology. More of that red stitching. Love this aluminum style trim that they got here. It's all about minimalistic. It's all about super clean. Of course, you got your cup holder built in. That's what I'm talking about with Porsche. Keeping the style clean, but also having that functionality. In my Porsche, you're not drinking or eating anything, so you might as well forget about it. This one has the chronograph package with that chrono clock up there, acts as a lap timer. And then new on this 992 is this guy right here. That's an almost 11-inch, 10.9-inch infotainment system. The 2021 model has Apple CarPlay, but no Android Auto. Good news is for 2022, you get both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We have navigation up. There we are at the Porsche Experience Center. You could scroll real cleanly, go into settings, go into your climate control. Everything is very intuitive and very easy to use. My favorite one is the car setting, because this is where you could go into the different drive modes through the screen. You could adjust the exhaust system, put the wing up, go into your different chassis settings. Really, really wonderful setup. Going into reverse, there's your backup camera, nice clear resolution with trajectory, 360-degree cam with a silver 911 convertible. I like those touches. Working your way down, AC vents, slim and trim. You got your controls, nice toggle switches, and I love the way they feel. Every time you touch it, it shows that quality. This is the operation for the PDK, and I am gonna have to zonk this. I'd rather have the actual shift lever, but this is gonna control that 8-speed, fast shifting PDK. You could also go, like I said, manual transmission, 7-speed. You do have that nice 911 name, so much history. Dial it on your phone, not for an emergency, for when you wanna win races. We have ventilated seats, heated seats, obviously for both people. You got another cup holder, but I don't know, I'm gonna keep Mentos in there to keep my breath nice and fresh. You're not drinking anything in my car. And then the key fob. Porsche does one of the coolest key fobs. You could actually option and get this color match to your 911. So really, really cool feature like that. More of that beautiful red. Open it up, what do we got? I would say, I wouldn't put any Twinkies in here because it's not tall enough. So maybe just 2 Snickers bars, USBs, nice and easy to get to, and then the seats. Now there's a plethora of seat options that you could go through. These though, have that classic look. They have enough bolstering to hold you in place, but they're also comfy at the end of the day. Of course, you're gonna get that nice electric assist all the way down to the bottom and the back. I got electric assist over here. And of course, in a 911, you do have those rear seats. Now, I personally wouldn't want to sit back there, But if you have a small child, maybe a stuffed animal, maybe a paper mache doll you want to drive around at high rate of speed, throw them back there, I would just fold it down. But why don't you come over here, because I have one of the greatest steering wheels I'm holding on to in this 911. Come on over. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. I want to show you something really cool. When you open up the door, the window actually raises a little. The reason why it does that is so that it doesn't rattle or shake anything when you're opening and closing the door, because when you close it, it goes right back down. It's stuff like that that is well thought out by Porsche. But opening it up, what are you welcome to? You have this beautiful aluminum sill plate 911 Carrera S to welcome you every time, let you know that you did it right. Of course, you're gonna have more Twinkie storage on the door panel as well. You could put at least 4 there, but that's for the competition. Save those, don't eat them in your car. Save it for the people that you beat, those Corvettes and everybody else. 3 memory seat settings, and these seats fit me like a glove. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room to get that air up and over. And then speaking of up and over, I want to put my hands all over this steering wheel. Perfect size, leather wrapped. Love the way you got the drive mode selector knob, easy to get to. Look at the way they hollow out each of the spokes to save weight. You have the paddles on the back of the wheel that are metal to go up and down that 8-speed PDK. And then the dash, just like the original 911, you still have an analog tachometer smack dab in the center with those other digital displays. And I love the way it's nice and curved, and it's got a nice cut to it to where it almost looks like actual real gauges, analog gauges, rather than a digital display. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go check out this Porsche Experience Center and see how it on throttle drives. All right, guys, we are in a Porsche 911 2021 Porsche 911 Carrera S. Remember, for the track duty, we're doing a coupe.
Oh, this is your coach, Sarah. Let's go ahead and get moving here. So I'll take you to our first module now that we are sitting in the 992. Got a lot lined up for you here.
And that is our driving coach speaking right now.
First module.
Everybody gets a driving coach in another vehicle in front of us. Her name's Sarah, so you'll hear her talk from time to time, but we are gonna go on throttle and do some fun activities.
All right, this is gonna be fantastic.
All right, we're going out on track.
All right, so let's rock and roll here. Kind of warm up to things. What we're looking for is about a 2-car length distance. And then we'll just warm up to the car a little bit. Looking at that red triangle on the left, that's usually where our braking zone is. Right now we're not really going fast.
PDK shifts so smooth.
Here we are, lining up on the right side, going a straight line through a series of corners, and I'm turning my head right to get that blue cone on the right side. Eyes to the left, that is my next braking zone.
Great sound of that flat 6.
Heavy brakes here. Picturing a hidden blue cone on the right side.
This course is so awesome. They actually filmed Ford versus Ferrari here, believe it or not. At least some parts of it on this course.
Right. What we want to do, we're always like scanning the environment for whatever detects the and then we actually have our safety car up ahead. So we do have to slow down a little bit. We're going to slow on down. Slow on down.
But I'm telling you, the steering is so intuitive. I can't wait to get up to speed for you guys. On throttle!
And right. Heavy braking through here. And then on the throttle.
Here we go, yeah!
Oh, good. Actually, I just heard the call. Our safety car is now clear.
Here we go.
Very nice. Pressure brake.
The PDK just knows exactly where I want to be, and the way it shifts, and this track just really allows you to feature everything on this 911.
This particular corner is a pretty slow one, just easy to understand there. Here, sometimes brake a little bit downhill, and then light throttle downhill. Tip of the red T is the apex. Heavy brake Friday there, Joe. Feel the car rotate a bit.
Here we go, yeah! Love the shifts from this thing.
On the brake will help me get to that apex. And
here we go.
Everything goes a little quiet for a sec.
Golly, this thing! So controllable. Here we go, yeah, through the chicane.
They now want to be, and then this is what we call our inch. Looks like we're catching up to some folks pretty quickly here.
The sound is what makes this.
They're not gonna let us pass though. We'll have to wait.
Love the dash, the tack right in the center. Seats hold you in, and we're not even in the aggressive race seats. But I'm telling you, I would drive this over a Taycan any day. I don't care how fast it is.
Well, I better play nice and not harass this person. But now that we're slowing on down here, we can just really notice the driving line a little bit.
But the way everything is laid out, all those years of evolution just coming together so nice. And I'm telling you, this PDK transmission, while we have a couple seconds here, shifts like a hot knife through butter. I'm not using the paddles. Not using the paddles at all. On throttle!
From single or four manual transmission is what I meant to say. So I'm definitely not going to use what you want to get onto the automatic train. That's going to be a quick
Here we go. Looking far right. There we go. God, it just propels you like a rocket.
Although I think we're going to catch up to this crew right now. Yep, we are definitely catching up to these folks.
Wow. Wow, what a special experience.
Our last past one. And then we would start our cool down. But based on the current status, our cool down is starting right now. So, Joe, I hope you have been enjoying so far.
Really glad to share this with you guys. It really showcases that the 911,
a little bit with this.
What it's capable of. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Fantastic. And they give you a lot of track time.
Exiting. We can kind of enjoy some of these corners a little bit. Then we can do our cool down.
Here we go.
Enjoy a few more corners. directed by the yellow GT3, the 992 GT3 that was over on the right. But Joe, excellent. It's fun working with you. And kind of ripping on the course for a little bit.
Really enjoyed sharing this with you guys. We need to get back to where it all started and wrap up this review, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been one heck of a day here at the Porsche Experience Center. I definitely got to thank the whole Porsche team, especially Frank, Calvin, Sam, and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 911 Carrera S. You saw what it was like going through the steps. You saw what it was like being behind the wheel. Let me know what you think. Do you feel that this is the best, most iconic sports car ever produced in the history of the automobile? Or do you have a different favorite? Put it in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raitis Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raitis Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen behind the camera, the muscle behind the lens. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. Show her some love in that comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.